So, good morning, good morning. So welcome to day 8 of the Yoga and Weight Loss Challenge. So today we're going to be using a small block. So if you don't have one, you can maybe get a book or maybe just a pillow or something that you can just use. So we're going to use it just to put our heels on to support us in a squat today. Okay, if you feel like you don't want to squat, that's fine. I can give you a variation. So I'm just going to give you a minute if you so wish to grab a block. Sit on that actually. So while you're doing that, hopefully you can still hear me. So we're going to start. So today is the beginning of day 2, week 2, week 2, which is going deeper. So we've had week 1, which is easing into the challenge. So we're easing in with the yoga, but also maybe incorporating some of the other habits. And if you haven't, that's okay. We're just easing in. This week, if you're looking to do weight loss, this is the week that we're really going to be focusing on food and reducing the calories and really sort of trying to take the challenge slightly deeper to work at a deeper level on every level, basically. So within that, with the yoga, we're going to add in an extra component. So we've been working on it, really extending that exhale for the last week, learning Ujjayi breath, and just trying to really see if we can work with a nice long exhale and just that, that's the process of letting go almost. But the BK is the part of the breath. So there's 4 parts of breath. So you've got the inhale, the pause after the inhale, the exhale, and then the pause after the exhale. So the pause after the exhale is what they call in yoga BK. So we're going to be working with the long, that nice long breath and the BK. And what the BK does is so for me, what it does is it sort of accentuates, if you like, the relaxation and the sense of letting go of the exhale. And it just kind of takes it to a deeper level. And within that, there's some stillness. And maybe something else can open up within the body or even in the mind, because it's kind of, you've exhaled and there's nothing left, and then it's almost going into that kind of that nothingness, and to see kind of what's there, maybe nothing. A bit of a contradiction, but it's just kind of exploring that nothingness, I guess, and it will just, for me, it really does take my yoga practice deeper, and it takes me deeper within myself when I'm doing the yoga using this technique. So, with all of that said, hopefully you found your nice block now, or your book. We're going to come down onto our mat. So we're going to just have a nice little lay down just to kind of get into the practice this morning. And I just want you to spend this moment, this time, maybe have the feet on the floor or legs out straight, whichever you prefer. But we really want to just spend this moment just to connect to ourselves, connect to our breath. So have the eyes closed, maybe have hands on tummy if that suits you. And then just, begin your Ujjayi breath, if you can use Ujjayi. Just taking some nice breaths into the body. On the inhale, thinking about really expanding the chest and the rib cage. And then on that exhale, it's almost like there's a contraction from the pubic bone to the sternum as we hollow out the stomach and we release the air. But the main thing is, if that's all too much, just think making exhale longer. That's all you need to really worry about. So then after you've taken one more breath, we're just going to start to coordinate the breath with movement. So really simple, as we inhale, we're going to take the arms overhead, place them on the mat behind us. And then as we exhale, we're going to place the hands back down to the mat. Okay, so we're just going to do 4 rounds, working nice and slow, feeling into the movement, coordinating it with breath, trying to make the breath exhale nice and long. So whenever you're ready, inhaling, taking the arms overhead, place them on the mat behind you, and then exhaling as we lower the arms back to the mat. 3 more rounds. It's normal as we begin yoga. We haven't done much yoga before, for the inhale to be a little bit more difficult. So don't worry if that's you, if you find that you're getting towards the end of the movement and you're running out of inhale, that's completely normal. And what happens is, as we focus on lengthening the exhale over time, that inhale will just naturally begin to lengthen. So you don't have to force anything. It's just a process of, okay, working on that exhale and the inhale will follow. Okay, so just making this your last one. So now I want to introduce a BK to the movement, so you can get a feel for what that is. So I'll just tell you briefly what we're going to do. You're going to stay where we are with our hands by our sides and the chin is in and your eyes are closed and all that. And we're going to inhale, we're going to take the arms up to 45 degrees, so your fingertips are pointing to the ceiling. Here, we're going to exhale. So we're just going to really, if you want, you can let the shoulders drop, so there's contact with the mat, and you're going to exhale here, keeping the arms where they are, we're not moving on the exhale. Then, at that moment, when the exhale is finished, you're then going to start to move the arms on the pulls, on the BK. Yeah, and then we're going to inhale to bring the arms back down to the beginning. So we'll do it 4 times and I'll talk you through. So it's really simple, just to get you into moving on the BK. Right, so when we're ready, we're going to inhale, take the arms up to 45 degrees. Fingers point to the ceiling. Exhale, just relax the shoulders down to the mat, keeping the arms straight, arms long, fingers to the ceiling. And then whenever that BK arises, that pulls, you're going to drop the arms behind you. And then you're going to inhale to drop the arms back down by your sides. Okay, so let's do that again. I'll talk you through one more time and then I'll let you do the last 2 by yourself. So you're going to inhale, take the arms up to 45 degrees, fingers pointing to the ceiling. Nice long exhale. Don't forget to pull in and up with that pelvic floor and tummy muscles as you exhale and drop the shoulders to the floor. When the BK arises, you're going to take the arms all the way overhead. Keep that contraction in the stomach. Keep that contraction there as you take the arms overhead. Inhale, dropping the arms back down to the start. Okay, so let's do that again 2 more times and just work now with your own breath length. As you're working through, you may find that when you're contracting your tummy on the exhale, you keep that contraction going on the BK, and that you can almost pull up and in a bit more, a bit more. So that you'll find that there's a bit more engagement there. Okay, so just finishing off where you're at. And then just come to rest for a minute. And then we're going to roll onto our sides and push ourselves up into a tabletop position. And again, we're going to practice moving on the VK, moving on the pause after the exhale. So come into tabletop position, just making sure you're aligned with your wrists underneath shoulders and knees underneath your hips, and the back is flat to begin. And I'll just show you. So you're going to inhale. We've been doing this all week, so it's familiar by now. Dropping the shoulder blades. And then exhale, we're going to come into our downward cat, but we're going to drop halfway. So we might pause as we exhale. And then on that BK, we're going to just drop all the way down. Then you're going to come back into your inhale, into your up cat. Okay, so we're going to take 6 rounds. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale, dropping the shoulder blades, so doing the chest. Exhale, halfway with the hips, halfway between the heels and the upright position. Hopefully that makes sense. It's too early for me this morning. And then exhaling, dropping the hips all the way on the BK. And then the head comes to the mat at the end. Inhale, up cat. Exhale, halfway. BK taking hips to heels, head to mat. And inhaling when you're ready to come up. So again, we're trying to engage these, the pelvic floor and the tummy muscles on that exhale. And then see if we can engage it a little bit more on that BK. Making this your last one, or finishing the one that you're on, and then just taking one more. So when you finish, you're just going to come to a kneeling position. Sorry, not a kneeling position, a sitting position with your hips on your heels. And then you're going to push yourself up, all the way up into a standing position. So just warming up the back as well. We're going to take a couple of forward bends. So we're just going to do a simple forward bend to begin with, and then we're going to add in the BK afterwards. So you can take whichever variation of the forward bend that you want. So we have been working on taking the arms onto the sternum, the sacrum. Yeah, that's the version that we've been doing. If you feel like you're a bit stiff this morning, you can just run the hands down your thighs just to get warmed up a bit more. Maybe you've been up for hours and you want to do a bit more intense movement, then you're going to have the arms out front. Okay, so you choose based on where you're at which variation you want to take. All right, so I'm just going to take the hands the same. So on the inhale, we sweep the arms all the way overhead. And then as we exhale, we fold forward and we place the hands on the sacrum and we come forward into our standing forward bend, have the knees bent and then the chin tucks in at the end. Inhaling, pushing through the feet, back is straight as we come up, take the arms all the way overhead, and then we exhale to lower the arms back to the beginning position. So we're going to do 3 more rounds. Inhale, take the arms overhead, sweep them all the way up. Exhale, sweep arms behind, place them on the sacrum, coming down, try to get the back nice and flat if we can. Nice bend in the knees, and then we're going to tuck the chin at the end. It's almost like we're trying to get the torso to the thighs, well we are, that's what we're doing. Inhaling, starting to push through the feet, flatten the back, sweep the arms overhead, all the way up. Exhale to lower the arms. Okay, so take the last round in your own time. Good. So we're going to add in a movement on the BK now. So it's a little bit more to it with regards to movement. So I was just going to show you first. So you're going to inhale, you're going to sweep down into your forward bend as you exhale. As you inhale, you're going to come up into sort of a half forward bend, trying to get that spine nice and long. And then you're going to stay here as you exhale. So you're going to have to engage your core muscles, trying to lengthen as much as you can through the spine. And then on the BK, you're going to bend your knees and you're going to come forward. See if you can pull up and in, pelvic floor a little bit more at this point. So drop your head on the BK, and then you're going to inhale all the way up, and then exhale to lower the arms. So we're familiar with that part. Okay, so we're going to take it 4 times. I'll talk you through the first couple, and then you can work in your own time. So inhale, sweep arms all the way overhead. Exhale, come into your forward bend. Hands on the sacrum, bend the knees at the end. Head tucks in. Inhale, straighten the legs. Take the torso to 45 degrees, nice long back. See if you can tuck the chin in. So we're extending the spine. And then we're going to exhale here. Draw the core muscles in, tummy in. And then we're going to exhale. So we're not going to exhale, we're going to move on the BK. So bend the knees and then just dropping the torso to the thighs on that BK. Inhale to come up. So you're going to push through the feet, sweep the arms all the way overhead. And then exhale to lower the arms. Okay, let's go again. Inhale, sweep arms up overhead. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, come into the half forward bend. Exhale here. BK, taking torso to the thighs, bend the knees, tuck the head. Pulling them up with the tummy muscles. And then inhale, push through the feet to come up to standing. Exhale to lower the arms. Okay, 2 more rounds. So you're going to do this on your own time if you can. Exhale to come forward, always forward bends or exhaling. Inhale to straighten the legs, straighten the spine. Feel like you can get some length in that spine. We want space between the vertebrae. Exhale, draw the tummy muscles in, keeping that nice long spine. And then on the BK, gently bend the legs, hold forward. Then you can push through into your inhale. All the way up. And then exhale to lower the arms. 1 more round. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. See if you can bring the shoulder blades together slightly here. Exhale, core is engaged. folding forward on the exhale, really drawing in and up with that pelvic floor and tummy muscles. And then inhale, come all the way up, standing. Exhale, lower the arms. Beautiful. So yeah, so hopefully you're getting a sense of the BK and what it can do. But also there's that extra engagement in the pelvic floor muscles and the tummy muscles, which, you know, if we want to really work those deep abdominals, the transverse abdominal muscles, then this is a really good way. It's quite gentle, but it's a really good way to engage all of those deep muscles. Okay, so we're going to take a nice warrior one. So you're going to take your right foot, you're going to place it 45 degrees on the mat. And then with the left foot, you're going to step forward. If you're wobbly, you can just take that left foot out a little bit, just to give you more of a wider stance so you don't topple over. If you're okay, then sort of heels are sort of in line, best you can. The hips are slightly turning towards the front, but they won't go all the way just because of the way the foot is aligned at the back. So I really want you to think about here, pushing into the floor with that back heel. I want you to try and get a nice, this is a back bend, but I want you to try and get a nice stretch in the calf, ready for our squat afterwards. So from here, on an inhale, you're simply going to raise the arms overhead and you're going to bend that front knee. Think about pushing that back heel into the mat. Then you're going to exhale to lower. So it's a real simple movement here. 3 more times. Inhaling, taking the arms overhead. Try to get the arms in line with the ears best you can, and then exhale as we lower. Straighten the front knee. Just noticing if that back knee has decided to bend itself as well, and straighten it out if you can. Push through the back heel to get that back leg nice and straight. One more round here. Inhaling as we open, exhaling as we close. That's how I see it anyway. Opening and closing the body. Okay, so then you're going to step back, and then you're going to take your left foot 45 degrees, step forward with the right. Again, just really making sure you're anchored in that back foot. And, you know, the stance is as wide as you feel comfortable. You know, you can be here, that's absolutely fine. But we want to try and get a bit of a stretch in the calf. So again, just repeating that 4 times. So on the inhale, taking the arms overhead, bending that front knee. Exhaling as we lower. Again, inhale, take the arms overhead, bend the front knee. Exhale as we lower the arms and straighten that front leg. Just making sure that your back leg is not decided to do something different and start bending. You want that nice and straight. Push through that back heel. Last one. Okay, so I'm going to use my block. I like to use a block for support. So if you want to grab your pillow, hopefully the pillow is going to be quite stable, but a book, a good sized book that's going to be wide enough for your hips. So when I come into my squat, I like to have my feet quite far apart. You might be okay to have them together, but I think for women it's better to have them. It just feels natural to have the feet more hip width apart than to have them together. So if I'll show you the squat, and if you decide you don't want to do it, then maybe you can do a half squat. So I'll show you this one to start with. So you're going to come onto your support. So I'm just taking my feet right to the edge, so I've got a nice wide stance, as wide as I can anyway. And then from here, I'm going to take my arms overhead as I inhale. And then as I exhale, I'm going to draw my tummy muscles in, obviously, as always. And then we're going to exhale as we come down into our squat. So we're going to let the bum rest on the calves, hands by the sides on the mat, and I'm just going to drop my hips down. Then to come up, we're going to inhale, so the arms move first, trying to get some length in the spine, and then you're going to push through the feet to come all the way up. Okay, so that's the squat. If you don't fancy that this morning, you can maybe take a half squat. So you'll inhale, and as you inhale, this is not going to work in time with the other squats, so you'll just have to cue yourself, because I'm going to do that one. But you're basically going to, actually we could make it work. We could inhale, take the arms overhead, and then you're going to exhale, and you're going to come into like a half squat. So whatever's comfortable for you. Inhale back to centre, back to standing, and then you're going to exhale to lower your arms. You know, you can take the feet really wide here if you want to. So the main thing is that we're just coming into that squat. So as low as you can without any pain, engaging the stomach muscles. We're just getting that sense of that compression, slight compression on the tummy as you come into your squat. Okay, so we're going to do the full version or the half version, up to you. We're going to take it 6 times. Might want to start on half and then move to the full, whatever you want to do. So we're going to inhale, take the arms all the way overhead. And then we're going to exhale, slowly start to lower the hips down towards the mat. The arms come down and the head tucks in at the end. Inhale, we straighten the back first, best we can, and then we push through the feet to come up. Okay, I'm going to go straight back down. Exhale. Inhale, straighten the back. Best you can as you lengthen and come up to a standing. This is quite hard work. If you get like 6 going in a row, it's good for the legs. So just work in your own time, exhaling into your squat. Inhaling to come up. 2 more rounds. So much research now. All right. Well, after that, we're going to lay back down on the mat. So just coming down. And then we're going to think about our BK again while we're here. So we're going to take Supta Baddha Konasana. So that is the posture where we drop the knees out to the side and we have the soles of the feet together. So we're just going to take maybe like 3 rounds, just doing like the normal version. So the normal version is inhaling, taking the arms overhead, taking the knees out to the sides, and the soles of the feet come together. And then we exhale to bring the knees together and the arms down. And as we exhale, there's that nice pulling in and up from the pelvic all the way up to the sternum if you can. Okay, so that's going to be the first version. And then the second version, we're going to add in a BK. So the BK version is going to be like this. Inhale, a bit like what we did earlier. Exhale, so you drop the shoulders, and then you're just basically going to you're going to BK the arms all the way to the floor. But there's that extra engagement in the tummy. The legs don't move. Once they're open, they stay where they are. And obviously, once we're here, we're going to so the BK, and we're going to inhale to take the arms back down. We don't normally work Don't normally take the arms down on an inhale, but just because we're doing the BK movement, we will today. Okay, so let's give it a go. When we're ready, we're going to inhale. So we're going to go to the first version, which is simply taking the arms overhead, placing the soles of the feet together and the knees come out. Exhale, dropping the arms back down, moving the knees back towards each other, pulling in and out with the pelvic floor. Nice long exhale. And again, inhaling, dropping the knees apart, arms overhead. Exhale, drawing the tummy muscles as we start to move the arms and bring the knees together. Imagine that you're squeezing something between your legs. Squeeze that thing, that bit of energy ball, squeeze it. Again, inhaling, taking the arms overhead. Knees come apart. Exhale, as we pull in and up the pelvic floor and then we squeeze the legs together. Okay, so we've got the movement. So now we're going to add in the BK. So when you're ready, you're going to inhale, you're going to drop the knees all the way to the floor, open them up, soles joined together. The hands come to 45 degrees. And then here we're just going to exhale, so you can relax the shoulders. And then keeping the engagement in the tummy, BK the arms all the way back to the floor. You might feel like you get more of a pulling in and up in the tummy area. Actually, what we're going to do, we're going to inhale here because it feels nicer. And then exhale. The arms back down to the sides and the knee come together. Sorry, I can't breathe and talk at the same time. Right, so let's do that two more times. Okay, so you're going to inhale. Soles come together, knees apart, arms 45 degrees, fingers pointing to the ceiling. As we exhale, just relax the shoulders, draw the tummy muscles in and up. Keep that engagement in the tummy as you BK the arms all the way back and see if you can get more contraction in the tummy on that pause. And then as we inhale here, we're just going to release any contraction in the tummy just slightly. Well, quite a bit, but still keeping engagement. And then exhale to take the arms all the way back. So hopefully you've mastered that now. And you can do the last one on your own. Okay, and then you can just stretch whenever you finish. There's no rush to finish. We're going to stretch the legs out and have a rest. Take the palms. Palms are facing up, arms are slightly away from the body. And then the feet are sort of mat width apart, allowing the feet to be really floppy. Letting go of any ujjayi and just have natural breath here. See if you can allow the body to relax a bit into the floor. And each breath, each exhale, see if you can relax a tiny bit more. with each round of breath. You've got the option to stay there if you want to. You can get your duvet and chuck it back over you. Or you can start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring the knees up, feet on the floor, and roll yourself over onto one side. And then pushing yourself up to a seated position. So you can sit cross-legged, you can sit with your hips on your heels, however you feel comfortable. I'm going to use my little block to lift my hips up a bit. It's always nice. So when we come into sitting for any breath work, ideally, so I'm quite stiff in my hips this morning, ideally, for any meditation or pranayama, you're going to want to have your hips higher than your knees. Otherwise, it just becomes excruciating after 5 minutes. So the recommendation is to have the hips higher than the knees and then allow the knees to be able to be supported by the floor or a cushion or something else. So if you are going to sit up and do this next, just a real short breath, 6 breaths to close the practice. Try to get comfy best you can with the support under your hips and under your knees. And you might find by doing that you can have a really nice long straight spine. And we always have the chin tucked in. It's called Jalandhara Bandha. So we tuck that in. Have the eyes closed, shoulders relaxed. And if we can, we're going to turn on the Ujjayi again now. So as we're breathing here, we're really aware of the breath. And the Ujjayi allows us to be aware because there's the friction in the throat, but also the sound. So you can choose which part of the breath to follow, the friction or the sound, up to you. And that's a real good support to keep you present and mindful in the breathing practice. Then after a few rounds of Ujjayi, see if you can start to count, if you want to, count the breath. So really what we want to do is have the exhale longer than the inhale and then add on a BK. So I'd suggest something like 4-6-4. So four counts on the inhale, 6 counts on the exhale, and then 4 counts on the BK. But you just go with whatever your breath length is, yeah? As long as the inhale is longer and there's a pause at the end of the exhale is longer and there's a pause at the end of the exhale, I'm going to be happy. And you'll have the effect that, we're trying to achieve. We'll just take a few rounds here. So the pause at the end of the exhale is going to be more than what we normally, more than the normal breath. So make it like a real point to make that, BK something. So just continue with that, but as we transition out of that breath practice, very short practice, we are going to start to drop the BK. So you're just literally back to normal, inhale and exhale, using Ujjayi still, but just no pause. And then just gently starting to release Ujjayi, normal breath now. So just staying present, maybe there's beautiful silence in the room where you are. Maybe the noise of the morning birds as they wake up, cheeping outside. Maybe you've noticed a shift, there's more space within you. And then when you're ready, you can bring the palms together, place them over your heart, bowing your head towards the heart space. Maybe just offering some gratitude. For me, I would just like to offer some gratitude for being able to wake up early and see the transition from nighttime into morning time. It's now nice and bright outside. Sort of bright outside, a bit cloudy. But it's a privilege to sort of be awake with the dawn in the morning and to hear the birds waking. And of course, gratitude for you showing up to the practice and doing some yoga with me on your mat. So from my heart to yours, thank you. Namaste.